Okay. All right. Hi, Sally. Did you hear the 2 blocks? Okay, cool. So we're gonna set them like so, lowest heights on top of each other. And we're gonna start in supported hero's pose. So knees and shins on the ground. And your knees as close as you can take them with being comfortable. And then you wanna move your calves out to the side. Oh, you know what, guys? I have black pants and a black shirt on, and it makes things very hard for you to see. So I'm gonna flip my mat over to the gray side, so it'll be easier for everyone to see. There we go. Okay. So knees together, kind of take your thumbs, move your calves out to the side, and then you'll sit right on the blocks. Nice and tall. And it should be a pretty nice tall height, so there shouldn't be any stress on your kneecaps. Let your eyes close and let a breath out. And then just see what it's like to naturally breathe in and out for the first little bit. Notice where you feel the majority of your breath happening. Notice if you feel or detect yourself breathing in your nose or in your mouth. And then also just taking note of where you breathe out to start. And then take some time to transition your breath to both in and out your nose, but in a very soft, gentle way this morning. It doesn't need to be a full-on ujjayi breath, and it doesn't need to have a lot of sound to it. You're just clearing out the pathways and the airway of your nose. So your brain becomes clearer and clearer with every breath. And taking your breath to about 3 counts in, a very tiny pause, 3 counts out, with another tiny pause after your exhale. And working towards 4 counts. Pause. 4 counts. And pause. Sitting up nice and tall as you breathe like this. You're always welcome to stick with the counting or let go of the counting. Just do what works for you this morning. Just one more minute. Find that extra bit of lightness and extension in your spine. The last handful of breaths. Allowing your arms to come down by your sides. Feel free to keep your eyes closed, or you can open them as a few times, reaching out and up over your head. Feel your hands touch, and then exhale, softly floating your arms back down to your sides. Yeah. Inhale, palms up, reach out and up, kind of like you're scooping the air. And then exhale, keeping your palms towards the sky, arms back down. Twice more. And then the next time your hands are up over your head, then you can exhale, bring them down in front of your chest. Take a little pausing moment, think about how you want to set the tone for your Friday and your practice today. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. If your eyes are closed, open them. Exhale, push your palms forward around your back. Just don't fall off your blocks. Tuck your chin. Inhale, arms up. Nice tall stretch. And then exhale again. A little seated cat rounding as you push your hands forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, rounding, tucking, pressing your palms. Take that a few more times. Also notice how the skin on your hands opens up. We don't typically have our hands in this position, so it might feel a little tight on your palms. And if you want to add any side-to-side movement, any little shifting with your neck, please do. And the next time your arms are up, take the interlace from the ceiling to behind your back, palm to palm, hand to hand. Reach back with your arms, then pull down with your knuckles. So your arms are coming closer towards the floor. Good, and just hug your shoulder blades together a little bit. Start to lift up through your collarbones towards your jawline. Let your breath help you do that. So you're breathing all the way into your upper chest. One more. Slowly release your hands. Start to pull your left foot forward, pick up your left foot, and you're gonna come into a half squat with your left leg. Your right leg can stay as it is. Left arm in front, right arm reaching out. Nice little press back with your arms. Slight resistance in your left knee. And then just start to move your head side to side. So looking from hand to hand. Stretching again all the way to your fingers, the skin on your palms. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Good. Last one each way with your neck. And then slowly coming up, arms out to a T. Just reach back with your arms. Continue stretching out. Yep. And then turn your foot out with your knee just a little bit more to the side, just starting to open up into your hip. Very gently, right fingers towards the floor, depending on your arm length, may or may not touch. Left arm up and over. So it's almost like a mini exalted warrior. Your left leg's in a mini warrior two, and you're leaning back towards your back leg. Very light pressure on your right fingers, like 2%. Good. Just breathe into your left rib and lung. Inhale, come up. Reach your arms just like you would in a warrior two. Palms facing down, kind of zippy in your fingers. Nice. And then exhale, arms down. And it's to go to the other side, it's nice to take the front of your left ankle, take your foot back to place your shin down. And then you can take your right hand behind your knee, lean to the left, foot out to the side, make sure you're even on your behind on the blocks. We'll start with that open twist. So let's go palms together this time in front. Inhale, open up, reach and press back, and just start to swivel through your neck. Nothing crazy, no whiplash. Some nice mobile movement, side to side. And you might notice, oh, this side, I can't turn my head as much. Or maybe that side, I can turn my head a little bit more. Put a little pushing resistance of your right knee in towards your elbow or your arm, wherever your arm is touching your inner knee. One more time each way with your neck. And as you bring your head to center, arms up to that warrior two position, a little bit more turned out with your right foot and knee. And then very gently, left fingers down, right arm up and over. You can always do a fist, a flat hand, or just a very light little tent with your fingertips. And really send some breath into your right lung here. Pull your right shoulder down away from your ear. Yeah. Maybe a tiny bit more lean to the side. And then use an inhale to slowly come back up. Hands forward this time. You're just gonna come into a forward fold, tucking your left toes, a wide one, and you can pull your blocks right out in front of you and use them as support. Yeah. So almost like a full prosarita, but pretty wide-legged. And then come up halfway. You're gonna turn your fingers out on the blocks so the eyes of your elbows are coming forward. And then pull your chest forward, lengthen out through your neck, and everyone tuck your chin. There you go. I know you want to look at the screen, but we don't want to get cranky neck. And just do a little hip rock side to side. And you also feel yourself transition foot to foot, weight-wise. Let's see how that feels on your hips this morning. Side to side, foot to foot. Not really bending your knees though. It's called skandasana, where you do that kind of warrior two cat-like movement side to side. Yeah, this is more just to feel your hip socket Feel your thigh bones start to move in this side-to-side direction. And then come back to center. Exhale, let yourself go into a full forward fold, heavy head, relaxed arms. You can let a breath out of your mouth. And then start to come back into your 3 or 4 count breath in and out of your nose as you hang forward. With those little pauses in between. And it can literally just be a millisecond of a pause. Doesn't need to be any kind of crazy breath retention. Two more rounds. Notice if you shift back, weight into your heels, try to even it out on the bottoms of your feet. And then inhale, come up halfway. You'll disassemble your little block tower, but then take your blocks onto their highest heights and turn towards your right foot. So you come into a runner's lunge, hands on your blocks. Yeah. Well, Sally, you can keep your background. It's okay. So back leg nice and extended, front knee stacked right above your ankle. And just a few times with your left knee, you're gonna bend, not touch the floor, and straighten. Just a hinge and a lengthen. And as you lengthen, you can start to press back through your heel, feel it more in your calf muscle. I don't want you to feel it in your knee necessarily. I'm gonna feel it in the belly of the muscle. Yeah, 2 more, just bending and extending. Last one. And then put a small bend so you can step up enough with your left foot and switching it to your right foot. And then same deal, bend your knee, extend your knee. Bend your knee, extend your knee. Yeah, but watch that front knee, that it doesn't go out to the side. You wanna keep it right above your ankle. So if you feel like, or notice your knees doing this, take your front foot wider. There you go. Okay, a couple more on this side. And again, you don't even need to touch the floor or get close to the floor with your knee, just starting to work into that natural movement of this joint hinging. One more. And then a small bend. Step your foot up, come into a half lift, hands on the blocks right under your shoulders. Bring your big toes all the way to touch. Now this is super important. Look behind you. It is technically gonna be a slight swinging action, but we're not gonna be kicking or anything, but you do wanna make sure you're not gonna hit a wall or a big piece of dense furniture or an animal behind you. So as you start with your big toes together, you're just gonna lift one leg and down. Other leg and down, yeah. So it's a little bit of a swing up and a control down. Try to have your big toe pointing down towards your mat the whole time. Inhale up, exhale down. So this is really good to strengthen your glutes, lengthen your hamstrings. And when your leg is lifted, it does release your lifted leg hip flexor. Yeah. And the higher you lift your leg, the more you're gonna feel your glute work. But it doesn't need to go, right, like crazy rocket high or anything like that. You can just aim to be at your hip level and down. One more each leg. You'll start to feel a lot of warmth, right? If you did this for even a couple minutes, you'd definitely be sweating. And then when you're ready, both feet down, separate your feet. Do a half squat. So you're gonna lean back into your hips, into your heels. Just to give your hamstrings a break. Use your quads a little bit. And then exhale, forward fold, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Nice big exhale. And then come into that 3 to 4 count in breath with a 3 to 4 count out breath. Lift and fall through your toes a few times. You also might get a little slight foot rocking when you do this. And then let your toes come down, release your elbows, come back into the runner's lunge. Right leg forward, left leg back. Cat-cow in your runner's lunge. So heart forward, shoulders down. And then you can choose to exhale just cat round, keeping your front knee bent, or cat round and straighten your front leg. And then you'll pull forward as you bend your knee right above your ankle. And then exhale, straight leg or bent knee, cat round. And get much more into your legs so you're not fully reliant on your hands on the blocks. Good. And I know there's a lot going on here with your legs, your breath, but really try to move your spine just like you would in a tabletop cat-cow. Maybe your breath starts to pick up a little bit, has a little bit more noise to it. Last one. And then as you come forward, bend your back knee to hover right above the ground. Right above the ground. Straighten your front leg, come onto your front heel. It's a lot. Hands are still on the blocks. It kind of looks like you're gonna take off for a running race. Good. And then front foot down. Take a couple steps up with your left foot. Switch it out with your right leg back. Lunging forward. Exhale, rounding in the lunge or with your straight leg. And then, right, it's like wash, rinse, repeat on this side. Cow forward, cat back. Watch how much you're pushing into the blocks, or if your knuckles are turning white, it's a signal you need to get a little bit more trusting in your legs. Last two. Really move your spine. And then as you come forward, bend your back knee. You're gonna straighten your front leg, come onto your heel. I'm just gonna move the block so you can see. So again, and it doesn't need to be completely straight. See, my back knee is bent. Blocks are still there to help. And then front foot down, step up with your right foot. Take your time, halfway lift so you can adjust, walking your feet back. Go ahead and take your hands into fists, and if you have any rings, turn them to the sides. Knuckles down. So you just have a little bit more length to have a little bit more extension in your spine. Toes together. And same thoughtful lift and lower of your one leg at a time. So inhale up, exhale down. Doesn't necessarily need to be any higher, doesn't necessarily need to be any slower or faster. Just try to inhale and lift, exhale and lower. Keep your heart pulling forward, so you're not in a full forward fold, you're more in a halfway lift. Yeah, good. Last two each side. We're just preparing our ankle for something great later in practice. And then after you've taken those last two, set the blocks somewhere close, not too far, and then find your first downward facing dog. You're always welcome to take down dog on the blocks. And just really cherish this first downward dog. Right, this very familiar shape you have been in many, many times. And how you can use it as a landing place. And again, your breath might be a little bit more vocal, a little bit longer, or warmer. Exhale, bring your knees down, find a wide knees child's pose, some support for your head. A lot of slack in your jaw. And speaking of slack, just cut yourself a little right here. Just let yourself be here for a couple more breaths. Without the intense feeling of needing to do something. To wiggle your way into a Sphinx pose. So you just kind of crawl forward onto your forearms, crawl back with your knees till the fronts of your legs, fronts of your hips come down to the ground. And then that nice firm press into your elbows, and then that extra little pull back. Good. And then squeeze your shoulder blades just a little together. Start to feel more open in your chest. Not only side to side and shoulder to shoulder, but let your breath go all the way up into your collarbones. And just focus on that for about 5 rounds. Breath all the way up into that very upper lobes of your lungs. Please know if this feels like too much on your lower back, you can always walk your elbows out farther ahead. Last breath. And then when you're ready, elbows can stay right where they are, or if you know you have a touchy lower back, you can take your elbows forward. You're going to take your palms down, fingers forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows down. So we're going to do that a few times. So if it feels like it's creating too much of a curve at your lower back, you just walk your hands more forward. Try to keep your chest up, collarbones up, your physical heart muscle up, and try to keep your elbows in so they're not widening out to the side. They're not doing that splaying action. They're just going straight up, straight down. 2 more. Nice. Again, put some slack at your jaw. And then as you come down, slide your hands into cobra position, forehead also in cobra position. Inhale up, exhale down. And a good number of times more. Doesn't need to be any specific number more, just take your time. Now that we've taken a lot of time for our lower body and our legs, we did some earlier chest opening stretches. You gotta reawaken the back. And again, maybe only 5% of a very light press into your palms on the ground. And then take your next cobra lift to hold it up. Reach long through your head and back through your toes. One more breath in. Exhale, come all the way onto your belly. And again, just cut yourself some slack. Rest. One side of your face to the floor so it's easier to breathe. You don't want to squish your nose. Go ahead and turn your head to the other side. Two more breaths. When you're ready, you choose how to press up from your belly, knees down, knees up, plank, child's pose, and then working your journey to downward facing dog. And again, just let it be a landing spot. A place where you can return back to something you need to remember. Or something that's going to help you come back. If you're really aiming towards that tone you want to set for the rest of your practice into the rest of your day. In the beginning, either hands to feet or feet to hands, or a little bit of both. Forward fold. Feet in or hips with distance. Peace sign fingers hook around your big toe, between that big toe and second toe. And now you are going to let your elbows go out to the sides with a little gentle pull as you come into a deeper forward fold. Yeah, nice, everybody. And looks good with your neck, but also try to pull your shoulders away from your earlobes. You can still have a relaxed neck, but energy to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Give a little bit more emphasis, elbow bones out to the right and the left. Pushing your feet down and very slightly out to the sides. And then exhale, release that effort, release your toes. Walk around, crawl around to find your blocks again. And taking a standing L split with your hands under your shoulders, your big toes together. So it's going to be like that lift and lower we did, but you're just going to do one lift. It's a standing split, but it also feels very reminiscent of a warrior three. Big toe pointed down. Hip pointed down. So notice if you're opening up into more of a half moon shape. So you're trying to descend your hip, not completely drop it, right? If I drop it, it's not going to be good on my standing leg. So you have to have some muscular lift. Push back through your lifted heel. Good. And then reach forward with your heart beyond the blocks, just an inch or so. Big inhale. Exhale, bend your knee to step your foot down. Take a pause, other side. So standing L splits. Basically 3/4 of the way into warrior three. Big toe down, hip down, but with still awareness of your lifted and your standing leg, of your spine and your chest pulling forward. One more breath in. Exhale, bend your top knee, bring your foot down. So you're still in that half lifted position, chin tucked. Toes up. Again, so you're lifting your arch, feeling your ankle a little bit more stable. Then we're going to do that again on each side. So you can go back to the first leg, tiny bend in your standing leg, and then you're just going to start to play with fingertips on the blocks, hands off the blocks, hands on the blocks, one hand off the block, one hand on the shin, both hands, just play around with your hands. Start to work more of that bottom ankle stability. Good. As you lift, yeah, you can take it into airplane arms, arms out to a T. Keep your hip and big toe pointed down. So again, it's not half moon yet. Last breath in. Good. Hands to the blocks first. Then bend your knee, step your foot down. Good. Other side. Start with the foundation. Lift with your leg. Tiny bend in your standing leg because that's going to help muscle hold you up, and then you can start to do the same thing. A little exploring. Fingers, hands, arms. Inhale and exhale. Good focus. Nice. Couple more breaths. Yep. And then you'll want to go hands down first. Bend your knee. Step your foot down. Good. And if you have cranky lower back, stay in the half lift. If your lower back feels fine today, you can go into a full fold with a little neck shake up and down. Good. Set your blocks off to the sides, but not too far. Downward facing dog. Right, and it's just like how softly a helicopter lands on a pad. You're just gonna softly buzz down and land here in this shape again. Knees down, work your way into Sphinx, but this time, backs of your hands to the mat, palms facing up. As far back with your elbows, just not this far back. You don't want it to be behind your shoulder, but at least stacked or a little bit more forward, depending on how you feel. Forearms press down, elbows pull in, chest stays up. Good. And then see about moving your neck, just ever so slowly to one side, to the other, or down to your chest. But still keeping the press in your forearms. You can do a tiny lift of your chin, but nothing crazy. Maybe do a little angling of your neck down. Notice any noises or sensations that come up with this. And then come back to a little press into your forearms, hug of your elbows towards your ribs, and then center your head and neck. One more breath. And exhale. Take your right arm out in front of you, left arm underneath, and you're just going to do a little roll open to the side and come into a spinal twist, right knee up. Yeah. We kind of did this, I think it was last week, but we came from more of a half frog. If this arm is just hanging out in space and your shoulder feels like it's going to pop out of its socket, bend your right elbow and put your right hand on your hip. Yeah, because I don't just want your arm feeling like it's going to dangle away. Just Just a nice twist, right? We haven't done a ton of twists, so it's important to do every practice. Inhale, take your right fingers up to the ceiling. Right hand down, kind of right above your left bicep. So you can press, release your right leg, come back to Sphinx. Yep. And then we'll switch. Left arm forward. Thread your right arm under. Lean to your right side. Pick up your left knee. And then find your supine twist. Yeah. Less of the, right? If this is happening, and you're just like, oh, I'm hanging around. Barbie, it's called the Barbie arm. You bend your elbow, put your hand on your hip, your glute, anywhere on your own leg. It just decreases, and instead of having the whole weight of your arm kind of pulling, you bend and it decreases that intensity. And then make sure your neck is in a comfortable position. You can always readjust around, move around. Exhale. Just 2 more breaths. Just to get that twisting action in. And then slowly release. So you can take your left fingers up, reach them around so you can press into your left hand, come back into Sphinx pose. Got it? Lift up, pull back with your elbows. You can always widen your feet. They don't have to be touching, they don't have to be together. Just a nice light lift. And if you want to take it into seal pose, that's where you go palms down and lift up. And you can always, right, walk it in. We're not trying to go for acrobatics. I'm not going to have you like bend your knees and touch your toes to your head. But if this feels like too much, this is the same thing. Yep. And then you drag your hands back, pull your heart forward so you're not just dumping in your low spine. You're lifting in your chest and asking your belly to do some work. Yeah. Shoulders down. Last 2 breaths. And then exhale, start to lower down. Find any comfortable position on your belly. Try to unwind all muscular effort. Bend your knees. Flex your feet. Now, your knees are not going to move. When I say windshield wipers, I just want you to windshield wiper your toes side to side, your ankles. Not your knees like we're used to. Your feet, just your feet. Yeah, good. It's good for your brain to get all the way down to your ankles and your toes. Windshield wiper feet. Oh, you guys are experts on the windshield wiper feet. Then still your feet. Now you can windshield wiper your whole leg side to side. Again, that easier twist for your lower body. And then back to just your feet up, just ankles side to side. Right? Because we did do that, a lot of ankle stability on one ankle. So it's just a little mobility. And then still your ankles, point your feet, curl your toes. Flex your feet, heels up. So do that a few times. So flex and point. You can also flare your toes in between. Feel your pinky toes stretch out to the side. And then start to just take some ankle circles. Circle, circle, circles. Yeah. And then other way. Still your feet. Windshield wiper your legs one last time. And then I'm going to give you a full minute to find yourself on your back, right? The simplest route is going to be to roll to one side, But if you want to press back into a child's pose or a plank and go through maybe a sun salutation, if you need a little bit more vigor, you got full 60 seconds till we meet here. Any way to get here. Good. Let one ankle cross over the other. Without using your arms, just bring your knees in and then away. In and then away. And it doesn't have to be all the way where your feet touch the ground or you start to feel your hip flexors pull, but just a little forward and back. So we get really used to that side to side rocking motion, which is good too. Just try and change it up, switch your ankle cross, and then just keep it going about 5 more times. And as you come in, start to move into happy baby, finding some way to connect your hands either to your feet. You can also hold behind your knees if that feels better. And try not to rock. Just breathe and gently bring your legs towards your chest. And then no matter where you have a hold of, feet or knees, extend one leg out to the side at a diagonal. Exhale, bring it back into the middle, and then take it to the other side. You're just going to do this one more time each leg, giving a little bit of that extra length, not only to your hamstring and your calf, but also to your inner thighs. And then if you want to do both legs, both hamstrings at the same time, you're welcome to. Keep your ankles alive. Keep your lower back on the ground. And then exhale, bend your knees. Bottoms of your feet together, find a butterfly. And again, we're not looking for a hanging butterfly, so if you feel that sensation in your hips, you use your blocks, kind of put them at a diagonal, stack them underneath. So a little bit of that block is on your calf, outer calf, a little bit of the block is on your outer thigh. Hands on your belly, eyes closed. Soft breath. Three counts. Pause. 3 counts. Back to that more quiet quality in your breath. And you can let go of any counting. Let yourself sail right into a resting space. Maybe that's here in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Maybe that's a slightly different posture or a little bit different way to be as you rest. Try to let go of all you're doing. Again, just cutting yourself some slack and allowing yourself to rest. We're going to be here for a good couple more minutes. If there's any possible way you can feel more at ease, please make that adjustment. Let yourself enjoy this last minute. Maybe you need an exhale to help you find that ease again. Slowly allow yourself to return. Just some awareness of your breath. No need to count or anything like that. Notice where the majority of your breath fills up, and where and how you feel it empty out. You can start to move slowly but small. You can start to shift from whatever shape you're in into a hug of your knees in towards your chest. A gentle sway side to side for your lower spine. And then rolling over to either side, pausing in that fetal position with your head on your upper arm. And taking your time to press your way up. And then coming back into that supported hero's seat that we began with. So finding your blocks, stacking them. Knees close with a little extra movement of your calves out to the side. And come back to where you began. How do you personally feel different right now? Maybe you can put words to it, maybe not so much. And think about this space and tone you've created here on your mat, and how you can take it with you into the rest of your Friday, into any interaction you have, into the thoughts that you have in your own mind. I'm just going to sit for one more minute. In that stillness that you have created. Taking your time, letting your arms come down by your sides. You can keep your eyes closed. Inhale, reach out and up, scooping up the air till your hands touch over your head. Exhale, bring them down in front of your chest, elbows soft to your sides. We'll end with 3 breaths together. Exhale. And final breath. As always, it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to guide you. And thank you for entrusting me to help you on your practice this morning on this day. You're ready, chin to your chest. Eyes slowly come open as you release your hands. Happy Friday, everyone. Yay. Have a good weekend. Enjoy it. It's supposed to be nice outside. I'm not sure in Ohio, though. Sorry about that, Mom. I'm not sure how the weather is. It's supposed to be nice here. So get outside and enjoy. Yeah.
Thanks, Amy Jane.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Amy Jane.
See you soon, I hope.
Yes,
Okay, see you
yes.
later.